Phishing is one of the most common ways attackers get a foothold, not because it is the most technically advanced, but because it targets a predictable human moment. People are busy, they trust familiar brands, and they often act quickly when a message creates urgency, curiosity, or fear. This episode is about reducing phishing success, which means making it harder for malicious emails to reach users, making suspicious messages more obvious when they do get through, and giving people safe ways to verify what is real before they click or respond. The most effective approach combines email controls that block, warn, and verify, because no single layer catches everything and the attacker's goal is always to slip through the weakest point. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to our course companion books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyberauthor.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. To reduce phishing success, it helps to define what phishing really is in practical terms. Phishing is a deceptive message designed to trick someone into doing something that benefits the attacker, such as entering credentials, opening a malicious attachment, or sending money. Some phishing attacks are broad and generic, while others are tailored to a specific person or organization. The difference in sophistication can be large, but the core technique stays the same. The message creates a believable story and then asks for an action. If you want fewer people to fall for that story, you need controls that break the story at multiple points, from delivery to decision. Blocking controls are the first line of defense, and they focus on preventing dangerous messages from reaching inboxes at all. Blocking can happen by filtering known malicious senders, scanning attachments for harmful content, and detecting links that lead to suspicious destinations. Many phishing campaigns reuse infrastructure, so blocking known bad domains and patterns can be very effective. Blocking also includes enforcing basic hygiene rules that stop obviously risky messages, such as those that fail identity checks or use suspicious formatting common in spam campaigns. The goal is simple: reduce the volume of phishing that ever reaches a person, because fewer dangerous messages means fewer chances for a mistake. Identity verification controls are especially important because phishing often relies on pretending to be someone trusted. Attackers may spoof a company executive, imitate a vendor, or mimic a well-known service to make the message feel legitimate. Email systems can use identity checks to confirm whether a sender is authorized to send on behalf of a domain. When these checks fail, messages can be blocked or treated as suspicious. Even when identity controls cannot guarantee a message is safe, they can still reduce the attacker's ability to convincingly impersonate trusted senders at scale. Attachment handling is another core blocking area because attachments are a common delivery mechanism for malware and credential theft. Blocking risky attachment types is one approach, but attackers often use formats that appear normal, so deeper inspection matters. Controls can scan attachments for known malicious patterns and suspicious behaviors. Some environments also convert attachments into safer formats before delivery to reduce the risk of hidden active content. The idea is to treat attachments as potential execution pathways and to reduce the chance that a user accidentally runs malicious code. Link protection is equally critical because phishing often relies on sending users to fake login pages or malicious downloads. Controls can inspect URLs, rewrite links so they are checked at click time, and block access to known malicious destinations. This matters because a link that is safe at the moment an email arrives may become dangerous later if the destination changes. Click-time inspection helps catch that shift. Good link controls reduce the chance that a user is sent to a harmful site, even if the email itself made it through filtering. Warning controls are the second line of defense, and they focus on helping users recognize suspicious messages that slip past blocking. Warnings can include clear banners that indicate an email came from outside the organization or that it failed identity checks. They can highlight unusual characteristics, such as a sender display name that does not match the real address, or a reply to value that points somewhere unexpected. These cues matter because phishing thrives on confusion and speed. When the system slows the user down by making risk visible, success rates drop. Warnings are most effective when they are consistent and meaningful, because inconsistent warnings create alert fatigue. If every external email is labeled suspicious in the same way, users may start ignoring the warning entirely. A better approach is to provide stronger warnings for truly unusual patterns and simpler indicators for routine external mail. The goal is to create graduated friction, where the most suspicious messages produce the most obvious signals. When warnings match real risk, users learn to respect them instead of tuning them out. Verification controls are the third line of defense, and they are often the deciding factor in whether phishing succeeds. Verification means giving people a safe way to confirm a message's legitimacy without relying on the content of the message itself. Attackers often include phone numbers, links, and instructions that route the victim back to the attacker. Safe verification means using known, trusted channels, such as calling a vendor using a phone number from an internal directory or a contract, not from the email. It also means typing known addresses directly rather than clicking links in a message. The purpose is to break the attacker's ability to control the verification path. A practical verification culture also includes making it easy for users to ask for help quickly. People are more likely to verify when the process is simple and non-punitive. If verifying feels embarrassing or slow, users may skip it and just click. Verification works best when the organization treats questions as responsible behavior rather than as inconvenience. When users believe they will be supported instead of blamed, they are more willing to pause and validate suspicious requests, especially those involving money, credentials, or urgent action. The block, warn, and verify model becomes even more important when you consider modern phishing tactics that use realism and personalization. Attackers may reference real projects, use names of colleagues, and time messages to match business events. They may also use compromised legitimate email accounts, which can bypass some blocking controls because the sender looks real. In those cases, warnings and verification steps become the key defenses because the message may not look obviously malicious to automated filters. Layering reduces reliance on any single detection method and improves resilience against varied attacker strategies. Reducing phishing success also requires thinking about how users interact with email on different devices and in different contexts. People read email on phones, where small screens hide full sender details and make it easier to miss subtle cues. People also act quickly when they are multitasking, which is when phishing is most effective. Email controls that present clear warnings and safe interaction patterns across devices can reduce these risks. The goal is to support good decisions even when the user is rushed, because attackers are counting on rushed behavior. Another important concept is controlling what happens after a user interacts with a phishing message. Even with strong controls, someone may click a link or open an attachment, so downstream protections matter. For example, if a user enters credentials into a fake site, strong authentication controls can limit the impact by preventing the attacker from logging in easily. If a user opens a malicious attachment, endpoint protections can block execution or isolate the device. While this episode focuses on email controls, it is useful to see phishing as the front door to broader compromise, meaning that layered defenses should extend beyond the mailbox as well. Measuring whether phishing controls are working requires outcome-focused thinking rather than simple counts. It is useful to know how many messages were blocked, but the more meaningful question is whether phishing attempts are resulting in compromised accounts or harmful actions. Monitoring user reports of suspicious emails, tracking confirmed phishing incidents, and analyzing which types of messages slip through can guide improvements. When a phishing message succeeds, it should trigger a learning process that strengthens blocking rules, improves warnings, and clarifies verification guidance. Improvement loops turn failures into stronger defenses rather than repeated mistakes. Finally, reducing phishing success is about designing an environment where the easiest path is also the safest path. Blocking reduces exposure, warnings increase awareness, and verification provides a safe decision channel when doubt remains. Together, these controls shift the odds in your favor by forcing attackers to overcome multiple barriers. When these layers are implemented thoughtfully and reinforced through consistent habits, phishing becomes less effective, fewer users are tricked, and incidents become rarer and less damaging. The end goal is not to demand perfect vigilance from every person, but to build systems and routines that make safe choices more likely even on busy, distracted days.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.